So this is our initial round of data here. There are 4 columns you see of all these measurements that we'll go into some of them, but it's a little bit too much to kind of try and investigate all these here. But there's 4 columns because this is the initial setup. So the 2 left ones are the left side and the 2 right ones are the right side. If we go through, I'll hit the highlights here so that we're not going through every little thing. But the big difference is here, if we look at, so again, these 2 are the left side. Look at knee extension. This is a knee angle extension. This is a good measurement for, it gives us an idea about saddle height, and in this case it's really telling us how she's sitting on the bike. 35 degrees on the left, 43 degrees on the right, an 8-degree difference in knee extension, which is big. That's a lot. So we think, oh, well, maybe she has a leg length discrepancy, but we tested her off the bike and really doesn't have enough of a leg length discrepancy. She has about a normal amount to warrant this amount of extension difference. Another thing that stands out for her back angle here is back angle, what they call back from level. So the hip dot to the shoulder dot basically takes that torso angle and relative to horizontal, and it's 18 degrees, which is very aggressive. That's a pretty aggressive position. Forward of foot, we're about 5 centimeters on the left and about 6.5 on the right, and that's, you know, for a time trial bike, that's not unheard of. The way she's moving on the bike, the knee travel tilt to left knee is moving in at 2 degrees and the right knee is moving out at 1 or 2 degrees. We know the wrist dots are going to be in the same position pretty much on the bike because the bike is almost perfectly symmetrical. So if there's a difference here, this hip to wrist forward measurement, then that tells me that the hip dots are in a different position. She's pretty good, so she's not shifted on the bike too much. And you can see vertically she's not shifted off the saddle so that one hip sits higher than the other. So what do we change? We changed with her. This was pretty simple. I wanted to change her saddle position and bring her that ISM saddle that she's on just forward just a little bit. I also wanted to bring her aero bars up just slightly and widen the bars just a little bit, just to open up her shoulders and allow her to breathe a little bit better. We're able to do all this, except I wasn't able to widen the aero bars. The pads and the bars were basically set at their maximum. They wouldn't go any further. They were pretty aggressively narrow bars though. And so we're gonna have to look at, like I said before, a new aero bar that will allow us more adjustability. After we made those changes, this is what we've got now. Look at, first they'll go to knee extension. So this is again left, left, right, right. So 38 degrees on the left, 39, 40 degrees on the right. Not bad, 1 or 2 degrees different there. What's her back angle? 20 to 21 degrees depending. So that is in better shape as well. She's still in really good shape with her positioning on the saddle as far as her pelvis goes. She's, almost dead even here with this hip to wrist forward and also the hip to wrist vertical measurement. Where are we at with knee forward of foot? We're pretty much identical now. We're about 60 millimeters, about 6 centimeters on both sides. So there's really no deviation there at all anymore. A couple of things stayed the same, like the left knee tracks in at about 1 to 2 degrees and the right knee tracks out at about 2 degrees. So we had this huge change where she went from, 8-degree difference on her knee extension down to about 1 or 2 degrees here, which is, that alone is worth the entire bike fit, really. But it was not because she was, we can look at these hip position measurements here, hip to wrist forward, hip to wrist vertical. She kind of remained pretty even throughout the process. So what could cause that? Well, really it comes down to the dynamic motion of the pelvis more than anything, and how the pelvis is allowed or not allowed to move. I think what we're allowing her to do now is that pelvis is, because we raised her up just enough, just a little bit, we were able to allow her to move more normally through her hips and through her pelvis, through her lumbar spine, where before she was sort of outside of the range for her low back, probably for her hamstrings, like I mentioned, and this was pulling her in one direction from a dynamic standpoint and just didn't allow her to have normal movement. This was a really cool example of being able to make a big impact with a couple of very small changes. I'm going to try and do a follow-up with this client, and I will post another short video potentially after that happens, and let you know how things progressed after she spent some time on the bike as well. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you hanging in there through the video. Please like, comment, subscribe below, and again, thanks for watching. See you next time.